Steve, good to see you and congratulations on the film. Could we start with, basically, set the scene for us. Tell us a little bit about the story that we're going to see in the dinner.
It's about how to deal with sort of complex moral problems that when it comes to if your children do something wrong, how far would you go to defend them, and at what point does your general sense of ethics and morality stop you doing the wrong thing or make you do the right thing. And the whole film centred around a dinner in a sort of high-end restaurant, and from there it sort of jumps back in time and tells you why these people have come together and what they're there for. The dinner's been called between my character and Richard Gere, who's I play his younger brother. Yeah. And we all, and our respective spouses and our children, have been involved in this illegal action, and it's about how we deal with that. And so it acts as a metaphor for the kind of moral compromises that society makes.
And as you say, over the course of the dinner, literally each course, we learn more and more, don't we, about each of them. And Paul, I think, in particular, is so interesting. What was he like to play? Because he's beguiling, he's articulate, he's forthright.
Well, he was a very, very interesting character. It was a lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Because, of course, he's very morally indignant, quite judgmental, angry, has a sense of justice and a sense of injustice about the world, but he's also destructive and deeply unhappy, and is profoundly cynical, but also very articulate and intelligent. And some of that's quite easy to understand, especially with the world being the way it is these days, which is we seem to be living in an alternative universe at the moment. But so I think it's quite resonant in that respect. But the character was a lot of contradictions. I think the audience sometimes feel sympathy for him and empathy, and then at other times feel that he's cruel and damaging.
Yeah. What was it like to play that? You've got those incredible scenes of long dialogue in repertoire, going backwards and forwards between you guys. Is that a mixture of kind of apprehension and relishing the chance to do that as an actor?
Well, it's always difficult because when you've got all these long speeches, they're just difficult to learn. But it's a sort of double-edged sword, because when you have all this dialogue, it's very easy to get inside the head of the character. So Oren Movermann's writing is great, because it does half the work for you. It's all there on the page, and you just if you articulate that, then you'll find the character.
Now it does deal with some very topical and current themes, as we've said. There are also some lighter moments in it, not least the restaurant itself. We've all been, or lots of us have been, to those kind of restaurants that seem to be so completely over the top. Could you kind of relate to that? I mean, they're almost theatre, aren't they, these days?
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's very high-end, kind of fussy, fine dining, which you can still get in certain places, and it adds a certain kind of tension to proceedings, because it's very fussy, very pernickety, and I think the audience will understand that. It's sort of mocking those very, very fashionable high-end restaurants. Did Oren want you to rehearse before you guys started, or was it kind of, get you all in there and film it as you did it for the first time? It was. He doesn't rehearse at all. I mean, he just gets us all in the room, and there's long tracts of dialogue that often overlap each other. You have to learn your lines or thereabouts. He's not super strict on that. You can phrase things in your own way, and then he sort of blows the whistle, and off we go. And so sometimes the first take we do is the first time we've ever done it, and oftentimes it might be unrefined, but because no one's overthinking it, it's got an authenticity about it.